Sorry, my background's a little different today. I'm actually at a coffee shop, and it seems like the light is shining right on my forehead. So you could just see the whole world right here, the reflection.
We love it. We love the big headphones. It's giving us a whole vibe right now. We love it. It's great.
Cool. Frida, I brought baby pictures because I knew you were gonna ask, and I promise you I'll be able to show you right before the class is over. Okay, cool. So let's get started. I love the tech hour because we get to talk about a lot of different things, a lot of people's problems, and sometimes it actually helps someone else, which is great. We will be doing, obviously, I think the next workshop will be on the calendar and we'll be going over the My Health Angel website. I also like those workshops because we get to just kind of stay on one topic and I can teach you everything that I possibly can squeeze into that hour about that particular topic. But here, going in different directions, it's great. So I'm ready for all the questions whenever you are.
Okay, we see Cheryl. Go ahead. You have your hand up if you want to unmute. Hold on. Hang on.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, great. I have a Galaxy A13 phone that has been locked by T-Mobile, which I no longer use. I'm on the Consumer Cellular Network. They locked the phone. They will not unlock it. And I had to, in order for me to communicate and use a phone, I literally had to buy another phone to be able to talk. So I would like to know, how can I unlock this phone?
So unlock, like as in you have a passcode on that phone that you can't get into, or when you get into the phone, you can't take it over to a different network?
Both.
Okay, so the
It's both.
passcode,
I can't do anything with the phone. Yeah.
so the passcode that's on the phone, that's usually that allows you to get into the phone. Usually you set that passcode, but you're saying that T-Mobile actually has a code on there?
It's actually locked. It says the phone is locked, and T-Mobile had said that they would unlock the phone, but they never did. And so I couldn't use the phone at all.
I would, if they have a specific lock for that phone and they put in the lock, I would take it to a T-Mobile store to
I
allow
have
them.
done everything.
Well, what are they saying? So if T-Mobile's saying that they can unlock it,
They are
but then when
saying that I'm no longer a customer, so they will not unlock the phone.
yeah, that is a hard one, because if they lock the phone, and they're saying that they put a lock on there, but they will not unlock it unless you're a customer of theirs. I don't know another way around it, because usually you have your own passcode on there that'll allow you to get into the phone, and then I can understand that they have a lock on the phone so that you can't take it to another network. But I have never seen that where you have to be a customer of theirs, because I switch people out from, not all the time, but if people are leaving T-Mobile and going to AT&T or vice versa, we can call that company up and say, hey, can you unlock the phone? They'll say, yep, you have no more bills on this phone or whatever. And then they'll unlock it and take it to another carrier. But I've never heard any company saying that they will not unlock it.
Well,
If-
that's
yeah.
what I've been told by T-Mobile. I've been to the store. Even in the store, the customer service person in the store said they had never seen anything like this before.
Yeah,
And
it doesn't
I'm-
make
I'm
sense to me
stuck.
either.
No,
Maybe
no.
try a different T-Mobile store, or even call in T-Mobile customer service just to see, because you're dealing with individuals at the same time, and if they can't help you, then I would say
Yeah,
there's
They-
nobody that can help you.
I've been through this. This is 6 months in now, and I've
Yeah.
done everything that you've said, and I've had no success.
Yeah,
So I was
honestly,
hoping that you can. Are there private companies that, as a service, unlock phones for you?
there are, but it depends on the lock. I've never heard about the type of lock that you're talking about. Usually it's either a passcode that we set for our phones, and then you can't take the phone to another carrier without getting a unlocked passcode from T-Mobile, and they'll give that to you if you know,
Mhm.
even if you're not a paying customer anymore, like if you paid your bill, you went over to another, you know, AT&T, Sprint, or US Cellular, they'll
Mhm.
still give you that code. But I personally don't know a
Mhm.
company that can unlock something that they can only unlock.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, they refuse to do it. That's
yeah,
one of the reasons why I'm no longer with T-Mobile.
I got it. Yeah, I wish I had an answer for you, but I don't know of a company that, if it's a proprietary lock that T-Mobile has only, I don't know a way to unlock it.
Okay,
I'm
thanks. I won't
sorry.
take up any, I was hoping for a miracle from you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry.
All right, Diane B, go ahead.
Hi, Julius.
Hey, Diane.
I just want to make a comment and I
Yeah.
don't want to trash anybody, but I just purchased a 13
Mhm.
at the Apple store and I got Apple Care for 2 years.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I could not get my emails on the phone. So, and I was doing it according to what Google told me to do. So anyway, I contacted Apple Care
Mhm.
and she couldn't help me at all. And she said, well, you have to contact, who your email carrier is. So I thought, wait a minute. So I contacted the Geek Squad and they had an
Mm.
Apple specialist and she knew exactly what to do. And now I got my email. So I just wanted to make that comment.
Yeah, I would tell you that, you know, like I understand that from the Apple Store perspective, they're being trained to only work on their stuff. So if it's not iCloud, email, whatever, that's what they're kind of being told. But this right here is something that if you go into any Apple store, like what's your email? Is it at Gmail, at Yahoo?
Verizon. It
Okay,
was
so even with
Verizon.
Verizon, and it doesn't matter. Like I could have walked you through 1, 2, 3 right now over the phone to be able to get you into your Verizon account. Now, it's not as easy because the standard ones are AOL, Google, Yahoo, Microsoft. Those are the ones that you see right there that's already built into the phone, but there's always a way to get it in there. And what that lady told you over the phone, some of them just aren't trained to know how to do it. That's just it. They're customer service and not tech. And even when you go into the Apple store, unless you're dealing with a genius, they're customer service first and not tech. That's it.
Did AOL buy Verizon or Verizon buy AOL? I'm all mixed up.
I think it's like Time Warner or something like that bought one of the two, but they're like kind of like a combination of each other. They're under the one umbrella.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make that comment. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Diane.
All right, so Barbara had asked, is the sound on the timer on the iPhone is not sounding, I guess, on her iPhone?
Okay. Hey, Barbara, are you there?
Hold on. Barbara, can you, if you want to unmute? So we can try and help. Let's see.
Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, there
Okay.
you go. So
Hey.
so your sound for your alarm clock is not working?
well, yeah, well, the timer is what I use. I use it to time things during the day and it's just stopped going off. I mean, the timer works, it goes down, but then no sound comes on.
Okay, and I know it's a silly question, but I have to ask, is your volume turned all the way up on the side?
Yep,
And how about the on the side? Do you have it on vibrate or do you have it on ring?
no ring, yeah.
Okay, so if it's, so let me just show you here. I'm just sharing my phone screen right now. So
Okay.
if you're in your timer and you have one of these guys here and you have your timer going,
Yes,
and when you, whichever, you know, I have mine on radar, whichever one you have yours on, like I can hear mine. If you don't physically hear it, what I would do is just obviously you can always check. You already said that your ringer's up. I would
Yeah.
just reset, maybe turn off the phone and do a hard reset. Sometimes that will kick the sound into gear if there is something wrong with the software. I have seen that every once in a while, where you just power your phone on and off, or depending upon the type of phone you have, do you have like an iPhone 10 or above?
yes, a 12.
Okay, so in order to turn it off, you would have to press let me actually stop this so you can see it. You would have to press the top volume key as well as here, let me show you on this one.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
then you'll be able, you could just press and hold that. You can turn it off and turn it on. Hopefully that will kick the
I
mic.
I did try that earlier before you came on. Yeah, okay.
Have you, okay, well, the other thing is how about your ring? Like when someone calls you, does that at least sound off?
Yes, yeah, I haven't had any trouble with any of the other sounds, just this. So
Could you try maybe changing your ringer on there?
I tried that too. When I put it on radar,
Yes.
like I just had, I did
Yes.
hear a tiny, tiny ring. The other ones I didn't hear. I mean, when it gives you the option to try different ones, they ring, they're fine. But then,
Okay.
but when I put it on the timer, nothing, it doesn't ring. But the radar did just give a little tiny ring, but
Well, if it's giving you a little tiny ring and everything else is ringing, I would check the volume again. As it's ringing, just like move it up because that means that the ringer is working. It's just something's wrong with the volume. And if you're hearing your phone calls coming through loud and clear, your text messages coming in loud and clear, perhaps that, like it's everything, like as you're watching a movie, you can have a different volume for the movie than the ringer on your phone or than the text message. So I would just check that again if you are hearing it.
all right,
And then also just doing a hard reset on there as well. Like turning off the phone is great, but there's also a hard reset where you hold those buttons until the phone actually goes off and reboot. It takes a little bit longer for it to come back on, but I would try that as well.
okay,
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, so Betty had asked, how do I get my phone's picture to show on my TV? I guess how to AirPlay it, I guess, onto the TV. Betty, you
Yes.
there? Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Okay, hey Betty, so what kind of TV do you have to try to cast it on there?
Okay, I can cast YouTube videos on there, but I
Okay.
can't cast my photos on there. I'm having trouble
Okay.
with that.
Now, the TV, what are you using? Are you casting it directly to the TV or do you have something in between like an Apple TV, like the little box or Roku? What are you using
Roku.
to cast?
Roku.
Okay, so Roku. So when you actually go to share your screen, let me just show you here. You have this option. To share my phone screen. So do you get to this part here where you see those next to the lock, you see the two rectangles on top of each other, they're blue.
Yes.
Do you press that to cast your screen?
No, I usually go to Roku, get over to YouTube, and then on my phone, I see those boxes and I hit those boxes and it gets my YouTube videos over to the YouTube channel.
Now, how about, but before you even do the YouTube, like if you take a step back, are you able just to hit those squares and your Roku actually shows up for you to be able to share when you hit, I mean, not squares, the rectangles?
No.
Can you try that and give that a shot? Because that's how I share my screen a lot, like I'm doing right now. And typically what I usually do is I go there and it gives me an option to whatever I'm screen mirroring to. So I would screen mirror directly to a TV. I can screen mirror directly to my Apple TV or one of those devices.
Okay. I'll look for those then. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And then if you're having any trouble also, like if you still can't do it, you can actually see because they've made it so that it's universal. And now that the iPhone can actually share to a lot of different devices, but you can also look at, I'm gonna send you a link. I'm gonna send you a Roku video and Actually, it'll be some step by step. So here, check this out. This is what I'm gonna actually send you. But I just want to go over it with you so you have the answers. 1 second. Share the screen with you.
Are you sending that over via?
Yes, I'm actually gonna send it directly to you, and then I'm also going to just show you really quick. All right, so if you see this here, I'm gonna send you these directions here, and it basically walks you through on how to mirror that iPhone right to your Roku. And remember, we were talking about the screen mirroring. This way you can actually just push it right to your TV versus going through the steps of YouTube and then setting it up. So just follow these steps and that should get you to where you're going.
I have an Android.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said iPhone. My apologies. Let me
No, no.
actually do Android to Roku. Yes, there we go.
Okay,
And
great.
so here we go. And here's some step-by-step directions from the. All right, Betty, I just sent that over to you. Let me know if you received it.
Okay, thank you. Thank
All
you
right,
very
you're
much.
welcome.
Perfect. All right. So John had asked, how can I access and show documents and photos that are in folders on my computer on a Zoom call? Hey, John, you there?
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. That's, I'm not really that checked out on trying to project in Zoom calls. How would I reference the files and then get them into the Zoom call?
So what you need to do, John, is one, you need to have those things open before your Zoom call. Know what you want to share. If those files are on there, so I can only, you won't be able to see this screen. So I'm gonna take a screenshot of it first. And then I'll show you this in 1 second. Okay, and then I'm gonna open up. I'll show you step by step. Give me 1 second. There's a folder and then perfect. And now let me share my screen with you so you can see this here. All right, so the reason why I'm taking screenshots, John, is because this particular screen that I'm going to show you, I can't share this with everyone because this is the moment before I share my screen. So it's only for your eyes only. All right, so I'm
Okay.
taking screenshots so you can see it. So here we go. Share screen. And here is, I'll share my entire desktop. So now you get to see my screen, right? So-
Yes,
So the moment before, you're gonna see all of this stuff on my screen. This is what you'll get. When you click on share screen at the bottom, in the middle of your screen, it'll be
Right.
for your Zoom screen, it's gonna present you with this. Now, yours will look different than mine because I have certain things that are open. So I have a program called Preview, I have Finder open, I have Chrome, I have Safari, and I have my calendar open. When I say you need to have those files ready before your Zoom call, this is where it's gonna be. So if it's an image, it's probably gonna show up in Preview. Unless you want to share your whole desktop. Now, if you share your whole desktop, everyone gets to see everything on your desktop, right? When I'm sharing things with you all, I'm rarely sharing my desktop unless I'm trying to give you an example like so, where I want you to see my desktop. And most of the time, I'm going to share Google Chrome with you so you can see everything that I'm doing on Chrome and you're not seeing other things on the screen, right? So if you have that photo open, if you have that document open in Word, anything you have open is gonna appear in this screen, and then you get to choose that screen, and then you hit share on the bottom right, and then they'll get to see that screen and that screen only. Now, if you want them to see everything, the whole kit and caboodle, show your desktop. And as you're
Okay,
going through different things, they'll get to see everything that you're doing. But as a presenter, when I'm presenting, I only want to show the things that I want to present. Does that make sense?
yeah, and what I have to do is press the new share? Is that how you get this to be projected into Zoom?
Yeah, it's actually this screen here. So let me just screenshot this because then it'll go away once I share it. Okay, and so look, you see this screen here that I have?
Right,
It's- It says share screen on the bottom with the arrow pointing up, it's green.
okay,
That's what you're gonna, and I had to screenshot it because again, if I hit that, you won't be able to see it. So that's what you're gonna press before you get to that other screen that I just showed you, in which you'll have all your things open, and then you can share those different items.
okay, sounds good.
All right, perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so, so Barbara had asked if you can share the instructions for the AirPlay link in the chat for the iPhone.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Okay, and then Chris was asking when I send photos from my phone via email and the from address defaults to an old professional email address I rarely use. How and where can I update this so my current email address is in there?
Okay, so are you doing, which device are you doing this from?
Hold on, let's unmute. Chris, if you just hang on, go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
From an iPhone?
Okay,
iPhone.
so,
Mm.
all right, so I would say, Chris, my question is that old professional email address, do you not want to receive or send from that address anymore on your iPhone?
I don't need to. I
Okay,
mean, I check my email every once in a while, but, and I know that I can override that. I can scroll down and select my personal address. But to do that over and over and over, I would just rather have it populate that way.
okay. So here, this is what you would do. Here, let me show you my screen here.
Okay.
So first off, you're gonna go to your settings. Let me get back, and you'll probably be at this screen here.
Yes.
Okay, and then you want to go down and you want to go to mail.
Okay.
And then from there, you want to scroll down again and you're going to choose your default account. So my default account is iCloud. You're going to choose the one that you want it to default to. Every time you open up your email, then once you choose that one going forward, it'll probably, the other one was probably checked. Now
Yes,
you'll actually have the good guy checked, and you can still toggle back and forth, but now it'll automatically send from there.
Great. I knew you'd know where that was hiding.
I just learned it last night. I knew you were gonna ask that question.
Sure you did. Thanks, Julia.
You're welcome, Chris.
All right, so Carlene asked if you work with laptops.
Oh, yeah, our thing is we work with anything with a power button, even microwaves, unless if you give us half the food that's in there.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, Carlene, did you have a question? Hang on, you want to unmute? I see you there. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, hello.
Hey,
Hi.
Carlene.
Hi. I'm not home to tell you, but I may not need it. I've had this problem before. My charger is not charging up my laptop. So
Okay.
I can't remember what was wrong. So you know about that?
Yeah, so it could be a couple of different things. So one, it could be the port inside of the laptop where that's not working and it won't take a charge. if that's the case, depending upon how much you pay for that computer and how old it is, I would say try to figure out if that is the problem, and I'll tell you how to figure out what the problem is. You may not want to invest in getting that power supply, fixed. But if it's the plug itself, you can actually order that right from Amazon. Like I have a universal plug that I just bought another one because I lost some of the ports, and it was like $20 and it works for a lot of different laptops. So if you buy one of those and that powers your device, then that means that it was actually just a power cable itself, and then you'll be, golden. But if you buy one of those and it's still not working, the battery could be, completely dead in there. Or it could be the power supply port that's inside of your computer. And depending upon, again, what information you have on there, how old the device is, it just depends on if you want to invest that money to get that fixed. So it could be the plug itself. I would try to maybe order a plug from Amazon or go to Best Buy and see if they have a universal plug, and then see if that actually puts some juice into your laptop.
Okay, I don't think it's the plug because I took it to a service and I just want to make sure they are not, taking advantage. Yes.
For sure.
So I have my same charger. So it must be that word port sounds familiar. And you also said the battery. So if the battery was completely dead, the charger would charge it back up?
It should. Even if, like I know laptops where their battery internally is really dead, and it's to the point where it would only work on the charger. So when you take it off the charger, it dies immediately. So in that case, even if the battery's dead and your charger is working, if it lights up, maybe leave it on there a little bit longer just so that, can power on. But if it's the port, like the power supply that's built into the computer, that can be expensive to fix. And it depends on the age of the computer and how much money you want to invest in here, because there's still a way to extract your data and put it onto a new device. So if you told me that it was an older computer and you really wanted it, and it costs a lot of money, I would probably say, hey, Carlene, maybe think about investing that money into a new device and let us extract the data and put it onto the new guy instead of it reinvesting into the old.
Okay, probably I would need a new one. Okay. Then.
Yep.
Thank
Yep.
you.
All right, you're welcome.
All righty.
Oh,
Nicole,
wait.
you're on mute.
Got it.
Just testing, making sure everybody was awake.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
Okay, so Johnny was asking, I've started having trouble with my VPN on my Windows desktop. It has started preventing my wireless printer from working, so she pauses it. Sometimes she can't get the app to even open up so that she can pause it. Does she need to do a new download perhaps? Or the techs at NordVPN have not been very helpful. Johnny, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Johnny.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I talk about this a lot. That's, just left an appointment in Fort Lauderdale and I was telling the lady the same thing. So VPNs are great. And I talk about it in my cybersecurity class. I like VPNs. They're a virtual private network. It adds another layer of protection for your internet surfing while you're online. But like what Johnny's experiencing right now is that certain things, it will stop from working. So there are times where you can't connect to the printer, you can't connect to a website, you can't do certain things when you have a VPN turned on. So let me give you an example of how VPN works. Imagine, for instance, I came to teach this class like I normally do, and you all know who I am. But imagine if I came in here and before I got in, Ashley, Nicole, and Paige, they need to let me into this room to teach to you all, right? If I came in with a ski mask on, they were like, you need to take your mask off before you come into this class. We need to be able to see your face because that's the only way that people will recognize you. If they don't recognize you, whatever. So having a VPN is masking your IP address. There's websites, there are printers, there are devices that will say, I will not work with a mask computer. I need to see your face. I need to see your real IP address so that I can communicate. Because a VPN is basically casting your IP address, and I can make it seem like I'm in London right now. But if I do that, there are certain apps, certain websites, certain devices in my household that will not allow me to connect. So VPNs are great, but you have to be able to turn it off in order for you to connect to your printer. Now, in your case where it's working sometimes and it's not, Nord, Express, all the VPNs, I'm familiar with a lot of them, the popular ones. I have used some as well. And one day I forgot I had one on. I'm like trying to get to this website and I'm going really quick. I'm like, oh my goodness, I got my VPN on. As soon as I turned it off, I was able to get into that website. And I'll turn it off and then somehow it'll flip back on. And I had to literally remove it from my device in order to get it off and to make things work. So they work great, but like you're experiencing right now, it's not anything that the team at Nord is doing. They're trained to just look at their thing and to turn it off and turn it on. But if there's some type of glitch in there, yes, you can do an update on the Nord. You can download it, take it off and re-enable it later. But it's just more like just making sure that it's turned off. I would only recommend that if you're using a VPN, just maybe turn it on when you're just going to sites that you really want that extra layer of security, or leave it on and then just make sure you turn it off. But there's no rhyme or reason as to why it's working sometimes and why it's not. I've experienced the same thing. I turn it off and I'm like, okay, it's off. Sometimes you have to refresh it, turn off your computer or turn off your iPhone, your iPad, and restart it. And sometimes because you're switching your IP address. So sometimes it just takes a little bit and you have to kick it into gear.
Okay,
Yep.
I was, when I can't print, it's mostly the printing. It reminds me, so I was clicking on the icon and pausing it because it allows me to pause it for 5 minutes, pause it for 15 minutes. So I was
Sure.
doing that, and then it stopped. The icon wouldn't let me click on it. It's
Yeah.
like now, and so I said, I wonder if I've worn it out, stopping it so much.
Yeah.
And I need to redo a download? It takes so long to get in touch with them. So I thought and I'm afraid to just do it because then I might mess something up. So what do you think about that? What could be causing that? Sometimes way later it will come on.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
you could try doing an update on the VPN because they're always putting out updates as well. And when you do actually turn it off, instead of pausing it, turn it off.
Okay.
And then give it a couple of seconds so it can kick into gear. And it's basically when you turn it off, it's saying, all right, we're not gonna they're taking off their mask, so it's gonna stop masking your IP address, and then it's gonna reveal itself in your real IP address. So you have to give that some time. And I'd say 20 seconds. And then, attempt to do what you're doing. But you can also try to update the software if there are any updates with Nord. And you can remove the program, go to nordvpn.com and then re-download it. That's going to give you the latest version as well. You could try that.
I could try that if the others don't work. That sounds
Yes.
good. And very
Yes.
often, you're right, I do turn the whole thing off, turn off the computer,
Yes.
to reboot sometimes, and that helps. But you don't want to do that every single, then you gotta log in again.
Yes. I have yet to find a VPN that's like that. I like VPNs,
Yeah.
but again, my experience, and I have Nord as well, and I would turn it on, and I tried Avast, the business version VPN. They're just like not. When you turn it off, I want it off right then and there, and I want to keep moving. Sometimes I have to fiddle with it, and I don't have the time to do it. Yeah, so it
Right,
sucks.
right. It seemed to me when I first got it, I had no problem with it. Of course, I didn't have a wireless printer then, but still, I had no problem. Now they've done their upgrades and stuff, and it seems like they made it so strong. Like you said,
Yeah.
some websites I can't get into at all.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, and I contacted them because I thought something was wrong, and they were saying, well, if you do this or if you do this, and then it was so complicated. And I thought,
Yeah.
this is not.
Yes.
I am not gonna be doing that.
Yeah, just, I mean, uninstalling it and reinstalling it will give you the latest version. I would try
Okay.
that and just
Okay.
turn it off like you've been doing.
Thank you, Julius.
All right, you're welcome, Johnny.
All right, so Joyce asked, problems with a printer. Tech showed her how to print by unplugging the printer and restarting the computer every time. It still is not printing all the time. Now it has 4 docs ready to print, and she doesn't want to really waste the ink, but she doesn't know how to delete it how she used to. So she really doesn't know how to access that. Any help there? Joyce, do you want to unmute? Go
Thank
ahead.
you. I used to know something and I don't think I do anymore.
I'm on the same level. I thought I knew some stuff, but so what kind of computer do you have, Joyce?
Wireless HP.
Okay, and so you have a HP wireless laptop, and then you have a printer. What type of printer?
They're both HPs.
Okay, and so the tech told you to like
Turn off the printer, unplug the power. With the printer unplugged, hold the power button 5 seconds, plug the printer back in, turn it on, restart the computer. Not a shutdown, it must be restarted and it should start printing. But now it hasn't printed all those documents, and I used to be able to kill documents, delete them. I don't know how to get there anymore. Is that possible?
Yeah, it is. So are you working on Windows 10 or Windows 11?
I think 11.
Okay. So if you hit the little start button, those are the 4 squares, like in the
Yep.
middle of your screen.
Okay, yes.
Once you click on that, then you just start typing in control panel. You want to type in control panel, and it depends on if you can manage it from the control panel or if you have to go into settings.
Okay, control panel settings.
It takes you to the settings.
Yeah,
Okay. So when you go into the settings, there you should see maybe
Bluetooth and devices.
yeah, and devices. And then once you go there, you should see like printers.
Printers.
Yep. And from there, once you see printers, how many of your printers do you see in there?
1.
Just one. Okay.
Uh-huh.
If you click on that printer, there's a little arrow to the right. Yes.
Yes.
Um,
Open printer queue.
yes.
Haha, I see him.
You see all that stuff?
Yes.
And then it's you basically need to remove it right now. The tunnel is just full and they can't get anything through. So I would clear it out first. And then once you clear it out, I would
I got them
not
canceled.
yeah, cancel them all. And I wouldn't attempt to print just yet. I would also
Okay.
download the HP Smart app if you don't have it already. And you can
Okay.
keep that window up and you can go to the Windows store to do it. And the reason why I'm telling you to do this is just to you shouldn't have to do those steps every single time you have to print. That's
Yeah.
just like if things doesn't work, because
Yeah, yeah.
typically what usually causes that issue is if your computer, I've found that some people's computers are actually connecting to multiple Wi-Fi networks by accident, not on purpose. So if your printer is on one Wi-Fi network and then your computer is on another Wi-Fi network, if for whatever reason they switch to a different network, then it can't communicate to the printer. So that's why things aren't printed. Now the printer doesn't change the network because once you put that network in, it should stay whatever Wi-Fi you connected to. But on the computer, a lot of the times I would find that if people or their computer is switching the network, Wi-Fi network on the computer, that's when it actually gets a little messy. So I would ensure that you are on the same network on both of those devices. And if you only have one Wi-Fi network in your house and you're still
Yes.
having this issue, the only other thing I could say is that maybe too many things are being pushed to that printer at once. Or if that's not the case, it will be hard to say without seeing it. Because the printer is not that smart to make a decision to work or not. It's either working or it's not. And the same
Okay.
thing with the computer. Once you actually give it a direction like, hey, print, it sends it to the Wi-Fi router, and the Wi-Fi router says, hey, you wake up, print. And that's what it should do. So I wish I can give you a more definitive answer to say, hey, this is the problem. This is how to fix it. But that's how you can clear your queue, just following those steps. And then you could try to test it out to see if you can print again.
Okay, thank you. I don't know
Alright.
how to do this app thing, but okay, thanks, Julius.
Yeah, and you can download that app right on your computer, the HP Smart app.
Okay,
Yes.
didn't know I could do that. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay, so Kay is asking, how do I retrieve the icons that have been downloaded via thumbnail? Seem to disappear after she views them. Kay, you there? Can I mute? Hold on. There you are. Okay, go ahead. So so the thumbnails are disappearing. Any suggestions on that, Julius?
Yeah, what thumbnails, Kay?
I don't know what, I had this one,
Oh, okay. So those are
Thumb drive.
okay. Okay, little thumb drive right there. Okay.
yes,
And you're saying when you plug that into the computer, the things are disappearing after you take it out?
after I view it. I viewed it and I saw all the pictures and then I closed it out and it disappeared.
Now, when you